one thing we kind of educate our clients on a lot is it has to do with their grandparents. Why the grandparents? Well, what we see sometimes is, maybe you've had very generous grandparents throughout your lifetime. They've paid for schooling, they maybe help you purchase your first car, maybe they even raised you, different things like that. But obviously, as people age, they might start losing some of those cognitive abilities. And so we just tell people, look, pay attention to those things. As people start getting into their late 70s, 80s, 90s, a little bit older, sometimes earlier, but those are typically the ages where we see things is, pay attention. Are they having trouble, remembering to pay their bills? Maybe they've always been very good with their finances, but they're starting to get delinquency notices or late fees coming in. Are they, giving out money more than is typical? Maybe your grandparents were very cheap and never gave out any money, so that would be a red flag right away. But maybe they were always generous, and you're starting to see that more and more now. So pay attention. Are they starting to, repeat themselves more and more, right? Starting to forget things. And, the sooner that you can start catching those things, if they don't have a plan in place, if they've not done any power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney, anything like that, there might still be time to get them into the attorney's office to draft those things so that you can avoid the guardianship. If it's too late though, if they're full-blown Alzheimer's, dementia, anything like that, then you might have to go ahead and go through with the guardianship. And each state is a little bit different. Certain states will call it a conservatorship, some call it guardianship, some just say living probate. But ultimately what that is where the judge is going to remove their legal rights and is going to appoint someone as their legal guardian, so that person, which could be a family member, could be a friend, it could be a court-appointed guardian, but so that person can start accessing their financial records. Maybe they need to move into a nursing home or assisted living facility, and they have to sell the real estate, the home they live in. Well, that person would be able to do that for them. And you want to try to again, if you're starting to see those signs, that's where people tend to get, unfortunately, taken advantage of, and we see elder abuse. We see, a neighbor, maybe saying things like, "Hey, why don't you just deed the property over to me? You can still live in it, but that way it's just easier," or different things like that. You'll even see siblings, maybe bad intentioned sons and daughters who say, "Mom, Dad, why don't you just put me on your bank account? Let me control the finances. I know how hard it is for you to do that." And so you just start paying attention, and even something that might seem like a very very innocent slip. They forget one thing. Well, if that one thing is something they've never done their entire lives, again, doesn't mean necessarily, it could just be, old age and it happens, but start paying attention to those things. Protect the grandparents. Hopefully they were good to you over the years, and so now it's kind of your turn to pay it forward and pay them back for everything that they did for you.